Hey, what's happening everyone? SirJames coming at you guys with another video. In today's video, I have another video game haul to share with you guys, but before I begin, there's three things I want to quickly go over before I get started. The first thing is if I seem distracted, it's not that I'm distracted, it's because I'm trying something a bit new and trying to monitor at the same time because I'm not kind of used to the setup, is that I have my DSLR currently hooked up to a monitor that's onto the side, so there's no like screen display on my camera at the moment. So there's a big monitor. I'm trying to make sure things are working good. At the same time, I'm also doing a different setting on my camera where it's doing facial tracking, and I want to be able to hold up items to where it's kind of taking away from my face tracking so I could focus on that item, and I have a monitor off to the side to see how that works out. So that's one thing. Second thing is some recent films that I saw that you guys should definitely check out if you're ever in the mood to go watch a movie. The first one, of course, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen it by now. It's a Marvel film known as Logan with the whole Wolverine, and it's actually a very good film. There's some definitely emotional ties there, and of course at the same time there's a vibe for the video game The Last of Us 2. If you go on Google and search up The Last of Us and Logan, you'll see what I'm talking about. The other one, of course, is the live action adaptation of the Beauty and the Beast. If you're a fan of the classic film from Disney, then you should definitely check out the live action. And of course, the other one is Saban's Power Rangers. Now, I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. Some people have mixed feelings about the current film. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. There were some things that a little bit iffy or that could be improved on or will like to see changed if they do make another one, which I am hoping they do. But overall, I did enjoy the film, and it's basically a film that I would definitely check out a second time, and of course buy on Blu-ray when it does come out to that point in time. But again, those are three recommendations. And of course, the final thing is when I do these haul videos, how come I don't have any Xbox, or where's the Xbox games over there? What's going on with that? Am I being anti-Microsoft or something like that? Now, the reason why I don't have any Xbox games during the haul is because I actually sold my Xbox One towards my Nintendo Switch, which honestly was worth it for me, and I do not regret that decision. The other reason why is because it's not because I don't like Xbox, that's because Microsoft has been doing things differently in terms of the decisions and whatnot. For me, I don't care about 4K, so it's not really a big deal. Backwards compatibility, again, that's not really a big deal for me. The big deal for me, of course, is the games and exclusives. And the thing is that a lot of Microsoft's exclusives now, I've been part of the Play Anywhere program. As you guys know, I do have a custom-built gaming PC. It's beefed up, and I can basically play anything that I want on the highest settings. Well, minus 4K because I don't have a 4K monitor. And so in this case, if I have a gaming PC like that, then technically I won't miss out on what Microsoft will be producing because, again, the games are part of the Play Anywhere program. So meaning that if I buy a digital version of that set game, I have it on both my Windows 10 PC and, of course, I'd also have it on the Xbox One. Now, I'm kind of waiting to see what Microsoft does during E3 to kind of determine whether or not if I get the Xbox Scorpio. So again, I just kind of have to wait until that point in time. But that's the reason why, is because I sold it, and technically I'm not missing out on anything. So again, that's the reason why. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the Nintendo Switch items. The first one that we have here is a Joy-Con bundle with the neon red and neon blue. Now you might be saying, but wait, your Nintendo Switch that you bought already came with the neon Joy-Con, so why did you get another one? That's because what's different about this one and the one that comes with the Nintendo Switch itself, or if that's the bundle you go with, is that the colors are swapped around. So meaning that if you buy this pack and you buy the Nintendo Switch with the neon Joy-Cons, then you could actually match the Joy-Cons together. So you can do neon blue and blue, neon red and red, or red and gray and all that, because I also have the gray Joy-Cons as well. So that's the reason why I got it. And what's nice about this one is that this one was actually being held for a customer for a little bit more than 2 weeks, but the customer never came to pick it up. So when I walked into the store, they said, "Hey James, the customer has decided not to pick up the item, and if I would like to buy it." And I was like, heck yes, because this is hard to find. So it's like good luck finding this after the launch of the Switch. So yeah, that's a pretty good score for me. The other one, this one came out today. This one is called Has Been Heroes. There you go. This one is not too bad. I believe the Switch version is the only one that has a physical copy. The game's also available on some other platforms. It's only $20. So far, what I played is actually not too bad. It's definitely a good challenge. There's a nice difficulty spike just right at the beginning. Certain things that are not explained. I mean, if you watch other people's reviews, you kind of understand. I mean, so far, I'm enjoying the game. Definitely a nice challenge. And I can't wait to see what I unlock next. And so, again, it was only 20 bucks. So I figured, why not? Legend of Zelda was the only Switch physical game that I had, so it's kind of nice to have a second physical game on the Nintendo Switch. And I'm hoping to add more with Mario Kart coming out next month. Next up, let's go ahead and go over some PlayStation 4 games, starting off with the one, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I'm waiting for the update to install. And that is the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix. So there you go. Doesn't want to focus too well. It's actually trying to focus on Donald Duck for whatever odd reason. But if you have never played Kingdom Hearts, you should get this. It has basically 4 complete games in one. Some of these are replayable. Actually, they're all replayable, but some of these games have a meaning that you actually have to go and replay the story again. Like, for example, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, you have the 3 characters that you have to go through. The same thing for which one it was. Chain of Memories with Sora and Riku's storyline. So again, a lot of replayability, many hours of enjoyment, and you also get 2 cinematic cutscenes for a couple of the games. But I mean, this is only 50 bucks. $50 for full games, 2 cutscenes or movies, if you will, mini films. And I mean, you're just going to get your money's worth out of it. Definitely check it out. The next one that we have here is the Nier Automata, or Automata. I think that's how you say it. This is the Day 1 edition. There you go. Now, this game came out in the beginning of the month, but the reason why I didn't get it then is because with the Switch coming out and some of the accessories I was trying to get, I just didn't have enough time to not only play the game, but at the same time, I was kind of spending a little bit more than I was wanting to during the Switch launch. So at the same time, I didn't really have extra funds for it. But now that I finally had the chance to kind of free up some time, I was actually playing the game over the weekend. I'm actually loving it. There's definitely some odd moments. If you've ever played the first one, you pretty much know what to expect for something like this. But if you never played the first one, be surprised on some of the things that you may see. Some humor, some questionable things, but so far it is a great title. One thing I forgot to mention though is that as far as Kingdom Hearts go, I'm a little bit disappointed on the cover. Because it's just kind of basic. I was kind of hoping there'll be an insert to where maybe on one cover it'll have like the full image of 1.5, flip it on over to have the full image of 2.5. Fortunately, they didn't do it with that. Nier Automata actually has a swappable cover art, which is pretty cool. The other one that I got here, of course, is the Mega Dimension Neptune V2. Now, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Mega Dimension series, and the reason why you might be asking is like, how come I wait till like the last minute to get them instead of getting them on release date if I'm such a huge fan? That's due to the fact that I already have the games, in this case digitally, so why am I getting them a second time? As you can see, I like physical form of media, and you know, if I wait a good time, then I could actually get them for a much cheaper deal, and that's pretty much why I prefer physical over digital. There used to be certain game companies used to give out physical copies for review, but nowadays people just only send basically review codes because it's cheaper and easier to do it that way. So that's pretty much why. Now next up is of course the PlayStation Vita games. I'm sorry there's a little bit of junk up because someone entered the room, so I had to deal with that. So during the last time I was doing the Vita haul, I mentioned there was 3 games that I was missing to complete the Hybrid Dimension series, which was the Rebirth 3, Producing Perfection, and Action Unleashed. And I have all 3 games here to show you guys what they look like. There is the Rebirth 3, Producing Perfection, and then of course the Action Unleashed, or Action U. Now, the reason why I got lucky on this one is because I was originally going to get them through GameStop.com, but 2 out of the 3 were unavailable to order online. So I was kind of, you know, bummed out about that one. So I looked on eBay. Again, a lot of the prices were still pretty high because these are pretty hard to find, especially in North America. And so someone had a bundle with these 3 games, a loose copy of Rebirth 2, and an 8 GB Vita memory card for about $110 or $120. I contacted the seller and asked if it would be possible just to buy the 3 box games. And the seller said yes. We made sure we had it on the record, so I'm not trying to cheat their way out with it or whatever, or complain to eBay saying, hey, they sent me this, but I didn't get this, you know, that type of stuff. And so they agreed, and so I shot an offer up, and I was like, I would be willing to pay $80 for all 3 of them, because again, I didn't want to go too low, and I didn't want to go too high. If I was going to go too high, then I would just might as well bought the whole bundle, except again, there was a loose copy of Rebirth 2, not a box version, and plus I already had the game, and I wasn't really looking for another Vita memory card at this point in time. If I was, it would be much more of a higher capacity for sure. So now I have the entire set on PlayStation Vita. All the physical releases for North America, I have the complete set. Super happy about that one. Which, by the way, there is a new Mega Dimension or Hyper Dimension. Again, there's a lot of different little series of it. There is a new one coming out later on this year, so I definitely can't wait for that one. Next up, we have the Ys Memories of Celceta. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ys. But there's that one. Now this one has a fun little story as well. This is one that basically there's a mistake on eBay from the seller's aspect. Basically, this was an item that I paid for, and what happened was that it was a Saturday, because I had ordered like 6 different Vita games at that time, and 2 packages arrived. So meaning that there's a little net in here. Meaning that 2 of the Vita games had arrived that Saturday. One of them was, of course, Rebirth 2, and the other one was supposed to be this one. But rather than this, it was a Nintendo 3DS game, a sealed copy of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is a game I already have. So I contacted the seller. I said, listen, I think there was a mistake. So what had happened is that the seller got my shipping label mixed up with someone else. So I got a game someone else bought, and then the other person basically got the game I bought. So I had to wait. First off, the seller was helpful. They did refund me in terms, or not for the game itself, but I shipped the mistake back. They refunded me for that, and of course on top of that, basically they said either 1, I could get my full refund, or 2, if the other person ships the other game back, then of course they'll fix the issue and kind of go from there. So I had to wait on the other person for like about 2 or 3 weeks, but I eventually got my hands on it, so I'm happy about that one. There's that. Next up, of course, we have the Shinrin Conjura Shinobi Versus. There's that. This is a game that I would not recommend you have little kids play because, well, I mean, look up a trailer for it and you'll kind of get the idea why. It's not really a topic that I talk about a lot on the channel because, again, it's kind of one of those Japanese type of games, so it's kind of normal. But again, look up a trailer and you'll understand. Next up, of course, we have Rayman Legends. This is a fun game worth checking out on the Vita, and apparently there's a version coming out to the Nintendo Switch, which I can't wait. Next up, of course, is Child of Light. I've played this already on the PlayStation 4. However, I've never played the Vita copy, so I'm looking forward to that one. It's actually a very good game. Now, I've never played any of the Persona games. I know, call me crazy. I don't know why, I just never got into them or whatever odd reason. But here we have the Persona 4 Golden. I know there's a new one coming out, I believe, next month. So there's that one. Another game I recently picked up, which I've been playing, and it's actually very good, is the Exist Archive, The Other Side of the Sky. There you go. Now, basically, what caught me to this one was the artwork. I looked up a trailer. The trailer was catchy, bought it, and I did not regret purchasing it. I only did regret is because I paid close to full price, and 4 days later, Amazon had a deal where you get it for like 12 bucks. So, I mean, go figure. Next up is the Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remastered on the PlayStation Vita. Which this one's complete. It has the art cards and also has the codes as well. Which, by the way, I already have 10-2 from back in the day, but I believe this one right here is an unused code. If you have a PlayStation Vita, there is a code. Go ahead and redeem that. So there you go. That will give you 10.2 HD remaster. There you go. I gave you guys a free game. And then we have 2 more games here before my battery dies. We have the Conception 2 Children of the Seven Stars. A very inexpensive game. You can find this for around less than $15. Basically, this game is that you have all these attractive females, and you're this one guy, and basically you make babies, star children, and they fight alongside you. So again, weird game, but again, not too bad of a title. And last but not least is Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. The only downside to this one is the online is filled with hackers and stuff like that, so it's kind of ruined by them. But I mean, the game wasn't too bad for what it was. And that's pretty much it for this little haul video. My update is now finished. And of course, this little test thing I was doing at the same time, I think I'm a bit satisfied. So I think for sure by the end of the week, once I get my next paycheck, I'm going to get a field monitor, which will attach to my camera. I'll probably do a video on that. If you guys would like to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. And again, let me know, did you guys pick up anything recently? Did you guys pick up the Kingdom Hearts HD or any Switch games? Again, let me know. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.